The sad state of modern WoW from Marcellian. What is this? What is sad? I've actually been having a good time. I've been enjoying the expansion a lot. The story's good, the quests have been good, the zones have been good. Maybe the raid's going to be good. We're going to do that today. We'll see. But looks like Marcellian's a bit sad. What is the sad state of modern WoW? Let's see what he has to say.
What I feel sad is I know a lot of people went into this expansion and they played it as each other expansion. The difference was you didn't really get anything this expansion. Like if you played this expansion expecting what you expected in Dragonflight, in Shadowlands, in BFA, the new best thing, there was none of that.
You missed out on about 70%.
Yeah, and I think some people will have.
We're talking about there's hero talents. I mean, there's hero talents. Now we didn't get delves yet. I mean, delves didn't become hyper relevant yet, but they're about to. Delves is a new thing. What do they mean? What are you talking about? We didn't get anything new.
Felt disappointed because it was basically the same game. They didn't get anything. No hero talents yet. You just have to level through and you just blazing it through. So you get more talents. There's this expansion, at least the start of it, gives you nothing in terms of new gameplay. It's the same game as Dragonflight.
You level, you do
it's
quests,
the same
you
shit.
level renown.
Yes.
Well, I guess at its core, yeah, there's nothing really new, and that's because Dragonflight was meant to bring all the new core stuff. As I said before, Dragonflight was a foundation building expansion. That's how it feels right now, just leading into the World Soul Saga. So yes, the new talent trees and all the core new things did come in Dragonflight, whereas the War Within is now the hyper-polished version of Dragonflight with a better story and everything, and that's what we're doing. So if he's saying that, I guess that's true, but that doesn't make me sad. I've been enjoying it quite a lot. This is actually the most fun I had leveling up, maybe because I had early access, but I really took my time and just enjoyed the whole thing. So, sad? No. Same? Maybe.
The main difference is that the story and the characters,
the quality of the experience is unparalleled.
This is one of the sad, and you cannot really blame people for this because this is how they created the game.
That's how they were trained.
Yeah, they got used to playing the game this way, and it's a sad state of affairs. But honestly, I feel sad for those who just skip through everything and didn't really pay attention to any of it, because once again, if you're gonna play WoW a seasonal game that it is, that's fine. We played it like that for the longest time. There's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of spice into your game, because let's face it, if you do play WoW competitively at some level, you really don't play any other games. I mean, that's a rare situation, where you're
I mean, I don't play any other games, and I don't play WoW competitively at all, but I just love playing WoW. That's the truth. Ooh, coming in with the knock and the hype trade. Who is that? Burning Viking. Thank you so much for the for kicking off the hype trade there. I do appreciate that. We'll pause the bits though. This is what he's saying here. I mean, I guess the infinite grind of seasonal. WoW has definitely become a seasonal game, as all games have basically become. It's very much seasonal. But I don't hate that. I haven't been hating it as long as we've been getting content. The bad thing about seasons was when seasons used to last way too long and there was just nothing left to do. But now with the content cadence they have, every 8 weeks we're getting shit. It's been great. I feel like there's always something to do. So again, same maybe, but not sad.
Most players that play WoW, do keys, do raids, mythic progression, don't really play other games because they really don't have the time or the energy or the patience for it.
It's a very specific game.
So when you play the game, just rushing to get your gear to get ready for the season start. When you play this game just for that gear rush and progressing as much as possible, I believe at some point you either get burned out or you get bored. It's inevitable. There's very rare occasions where you would feel like the urge to keep doing the same old thing over and over and over. Why not just add this little bit of spice right now when there's really nothing else to do? But
didn't they? The whole world, world row now in your vault with delves and having world progression as part of your vault. Isn't that a new way to progress? I'm not understanding. Maybe they just don't think delves are new content. I don't know, but to me, it's a completely new way to play the game. 15-minute little snippets that you didn't have before. Whereas, if you wanted to really get in and play WoW, you always needed to have a 40-minute window at least to be able to do things. Now, if you had a really good group and you had friends that are online and ready to go, maybe you could do a quick 25-minute Mythic Plus run. But other than that, I feel like that's a new version of the game. It's a new way to progress. Delves give biz gear. Yeah, they definitely attach heroic level raid gear to the vault if you do a tier 8 delve. They're certainly relevant. They're not just this new piece of side casual content. No, they are a core piece of the game now. So I don't know why they're just kind of bypassing that and not considering it as a new way to play the game.
Just enjoy the
Maybe they don't
little
like
side quests, the dailies, the events. I love all the events. You know, like it's like even like talking about those, right, with the theater, which is a little bit of, you know.
I haven't done the theater. I'm such a,
you know, it's stupid, it's quirky, but it's fine. You know, it gives another angle to these.
This is a good point to make, because I feel like this ties into a lot of things that happen in Dragonflight as well, where people are calling the game bad, and they're not necessarily wrong, but they're not necessarily right either, because they opted to play in a certain way, and that's fine. Listen, people who decide that the game for them is to level up and do all of the dungeons, get all the eye level, max out their tunes, maybe level up another one and do the same thing all over again. If that's how you play WoW, that's perfectly fine. You're the one buying it, because I see people, they're coming into our streams, they're in the chat right now commenting in it, and that's fine if you play that way, but you make that choice. And it's not like
he's very right. You make that choice. Yesterday, somebody in the chat was talking about how they feel like, oh, now I got to do delves too. Now I got to do Mythic plus delves and raiding to fill out my vault. Like, no, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. There's a problem. WoW players, as I said before, were degenerates, man. You just give them another thing to do, and they're just going to infinitely grind it. You got to. It's like Blizzard has to intentionally stop people from doing that, because people will do it and then claim they're burned out. So just calm down. If you don't have to play the game that way. The thing is, there are plenty of ways to get gear now. You could do them all, or you could pick your favorites. It's really up to you. There's no reason to just grind yourself into the ground unless you're a mythic, mythic world first, trying to get, the world first kill of Ansurek mythic. Okay, then sure. But those guys are literally, that's their job. You don't have to play this game like it's a job. It's a game at the end of the day.
Much and you're not wrong for making that choice, because for a long time there's nothing else what to do. But now you're legit missing out in actually playing the RPG part of an MMORPG, which is going through the quest, listening to the music, getting immersed into the zones. Because you're gonna end up spamming dungeons and getting eye levels and upgrading gear for a year and a half from now on, continuously.
It's gonna be the same thing over and over and over.
Now is the time to actually, detach from that and actually experience what the game could also be, because I do feel like players need to be trained into what good WoW can be, because WoW has been good for a long time. It hasn't been amazing, and it wasn't as good as it is now, but it has been good for a long time. But people didn't really want to see it because it wasn't parts of the WoW that they cared about. But that's fine, but you get to choose what parts of WoW you care about. So we advise you to actually go into the game, listen to the music, watch the zones. I actually took print screens with my UI turned off.
Me too.
I put them in Photoshop.
I 100% agree with this. Like I said, the most enjoyable leveling experience I've had in quite a long time was this expansion, because that's exactly what I did. Because of the early access, then the later start of the season, I just felt like I could take my time. I just took it all in. You guys know I streamed it. I turned up the music. I read the quest text. I just enjoyed it a lot. I took it for what it was, and that's one of the most, one of the best things about World of Warcraft is the world. Experiencing the world, not just grinding up so I can get 2 item levels higher on this piece of gear that I want to get, and where's my piston slot, and that stuff's fun to get, of course, but it's not everything. It's not everything. You definitely just want to enjoy it for what it is sometimes.
And I did a little color tweaking, and now they're my wallpapers.
Oh yeah, I didn't went as far as that, but I always take screenshots of like new zones and new characters. I get across into new expansions.
Yeah.
Well, see. Is this the best expansion ever? Like, if you think about it from the point of view of what's coming new in this expansion, I mean, dude, Dragonflight was not a bad expansion.
No,
Dragonflight basically put back.
It revolutionized the backbone of the game, which is systems, which are the...
Like I said, it's the foundation building expansion, because the foundation had cracks and it had crumbled quite a bit after Shadowlands, and they just needed an expansion where, okay, we're not going to introduce anything crazy or new. We're just going to fix everything. We're going to fix the professions. We're going to fix your spec trees. We're going to fix core game mechanics. We're going to fix we're going to fix a flight, how you fly around in the game, how you travel in the game. We're going to build a good foundation, and then we're going to introduce a cool villain in Zalateth and Eridikron that's going to lead you into what is now the real WoW. Like, here it is. We built the foundation, now you can fly. And that's what it was. It was not a bad expansion at all. Just story-wise and stuff, it kind of fell flat, because that's not what that expansion was really for.
The talents came back, professions were revamped.
can
We
fix you.
completely moved from proper reputation to renown. We had the renown in Shadowlands, but it was not reputation. It was like
yeah.
a totally different thing. It got melded into reputation in Dragonflight.
Cool.
We've had open world events that felt very community, which to be fair, we actually don't have that much in the World Within.
Yeah, we
where
do.
We don't have the great hunts anymore where you have like 50 people.
Do the teether, my friend.
Oh, is that the theater? All right, then we have that in Dragonflight and the World Within as well.
This
Yeah, we
is
have
what's
it.
called parenthesis here. The events now are in every zone, and each event has its own flavor. Like really cool.
Yeah,
every
that's dope.
event has its flavor.
I actually have not done the theater event yet, but a lot of people have told me it's fun. I've done some of the others. They are fun. Yeah, the events are cool. They're very much. They took the soup event, from Dragonflight and saw that everyone liked it and kind of continued that same thing forward and iterated on it.
That's cool. I'm closing the parenthesis. Carry on.
Yeah, but that's so all of these backbone parts of WoW have been built up, and unfortunately, Dragonflight didn't, put the meat on the bones
Yeah,
just
you
yet.
didn't have the epic moments, and even like the non, canon lore people that even those are expecting an epic moment at some point because they've been through that.
That's
okay.
what-
They don't
I'm
care.
excited to see the final cinematic of this raid right now when we kill Ansarek. Like, what the hell's going to happen? Is Zalateth going to show up again? Who knows? I'm very excited to see what this final cinematic is going to look like.
About the
What was
story, this is again how they got used to playing the game. Yeah, I don't care about the story, but after I killed the last mythic boss, that's a cool cinematic. That was part of it. They would explain that was not happening in Dragonflight.
Nope.
Dragonflight was the basis for making the game feel good again.
True.
Now, War Within is Dragonflight, but now added with the epic moments. We already had a couple of epic moments just leveling through. I cannot wait to see what the fuck will happen after we kill.
Oh, there's so much more to
Yeah,
come.
I'm very excited.
I did want to answer a little bit your question.
I
when you
was
said,
not
is
excited.
This the best expansion? Obviously, it's too early to tell.
For example, I was not excited to kill Sakureth at all. I mean, who gave a shit, honestly, about killing Sakureth? And his ends cutscene cinematic was shit, complete shit. But now with Ansarek and everything, killed her mom, Zalateth's involved. Now we're gonna beat her spider ass. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited to see what happens.
And
Yes, it is.
we're definitely we're definitely gonna be back. What is it? 2 months from now, when we're probably going, I don't know, halfway through Mythic, when we are.
Yeah, we're gonna shit on this expansion once the season starts. I'm telling you, it's gonna
All right,
show
well,
its
listen,
problems.
hopefully not, but there's a good chance that we might.
I don't think so. And 2 months from now, you're going to be in the anniversary event too, doing that raid. Like, there's so much content. This is not going to be an infinite grind season 1. Like, there is so much coming. I don't even think they realize that. It's this expansion is just different. The speed at which things are coming and the amount that they're giving us with each patch now, man, it's going to be good.
But talking about the experience so far, because it's very hard to say, is this the best expansion? Because everybody just defaults either to Wrath or to Legion or to MoP or to TBC and stuff like that.
Why?
It's very hard to rival emotional and personalized characters like Arthas and Illidan and the Burning Legion and stuff like that. It's
And
very
your
hard to
mama.
rival that. But if we're gonna
It is.
take the
It is hard to rival an Arthas. Okay, Arthas came out from Warcraft. He was a core villain of the game, core story of World of Warcraft. Like, his story permeates throughout World of. There is no World of Warcraft without people like Arthas and Illidan. Yes, their stories are core. But I will be honest. Zalateth is the best story they have written in WoW probably since then. Since Legion's storyline, which is also an original storyline, we're talking Sargeras, Burning Crusade, like these things are original WoW storylines. Zalateth is amazing. They've done such a good job with her, and yes, it's very exciting. It feels cool to be playing against a villain like that who now, she's starting to feel very core to the game because Void lore in general is very core to the game, and she is now very much attached to that. So I think they're actually doing a very good job with the story now.
at face value and take the skill of the writing and the
Unlike Zoval, who was just a bald-headed, big nipple man, and we didn't even understand what the hell was going on, and then boom, he's gone. One expansion.
skill of the storytelling, the
Much
skill of the
better now.
music and the exploration and the pacing, this probably is one of the, if the best. As someone who really involves itself into stories and other RPGs, I really love Baldur's Gate 3, Witcher 3, stuff like that. this is one of the best stories ever told in WoW, even if the characters are not the biggest, the ones you know, the variants, the Guldans and all of that stuff. Even if those are not the characters, these are the best written characters that I have played in so far for me.
Yeah,
So
but I wouldn't say that there's no big characters. I mean, Illyria is a massive character from WoW lore. She's one of the Windrunner sisters. I mean, Chadgar. How you gonna not talk about Khadgar as a big character? He's literally the Guardian. He freaking beat Medivh. Like he is a massive lore character in the game. We don't have Varian, but we've got Anduin, who's recently had a big moment in the game. I mean, I think everyone's seen it at this point. I still won't spoil it. But I mean, come on. There are core lore characters in the game right now having big moments. So again, I don't know if I agree with a lot of the stuff they're saying.
from that perspective, this is probably the best expansion they've done.
And yes, okay, so he finished it off with a positive note there. Yes, it is the best they've done in quite a while.
That, and also the fact that Dragonflight laid down, again, a basis of good gameplay mechanics. Professions were much more interesting and involved. They matter. Once again, you can craft a lot of good gear for yourself, for your guildies, you know, to make some gold or whatever. The War Within introduced like the NPC crafting orders, which are really cool because that will help you out a lot. Sure, hero talents are basically more talents, so that's not really a feature that the War Within would bring on. You have the delves, you have the war banks as well, like that is, you know, pretty huge. Like you can basically level like a lot of alts now with ease. The more alts you level, the better it is, the more experience you get, you know, for your alts. So that's really cool. The war
best time to ever have alts in the game is now, ever. I mean, we just saw freaking tiers dropping as Warbound. What the hell? I didn't expect that. There's gonna be Warbound tier gear. Shit. Yeah, it's a great time to play alts.
Warbound gear. So gearing alts is also much
From
more
your main.
much
When
from
were
your
you
main.
able to do
No,
this?
it was never a thing, and we complained about all the alt situations, but just forgetting about that. So how is the game mechanically? It's once again, it's basically Dragonflight with even more like quality of life touches added onto it. Obviously, when the season will start, you will see the problems with the tuning in Mythic Plus, in the raid probably. You know, those will always be there, and as opposed to like other expansions in the past, you don't really have that new banger system introduced that will completely change your gameplay or alter your journey into WoW, even playing in a seasonal matter, seasonal type of gameplay. That
I still think delves are new. I disagree, but and anyways, sometimes those new banger systems, the AP grinds and things, felt like just a band-aid to cover up over the fact that the core gameplay of the game was not that good. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, oh yeah, we didn't really come up with anything, so here's this new thing you can grind infinitely. We're just gonna put that over all the shit that you're gonna be doing, and that was it. That was not a good thing. That was not good game mechanics. Right now, the core of the game is very good. So there is no need for this extra thing to be in the game. Now, as I said before, though, there is an extra thing. There is a completely new way to gear out in the game. This had never existed before. So, are they bitching to bitch, as if people keep saying in the chat? Maybe. But I actually think the game is in a great spot right now. And that's why there is no need for this additional grind added to the side to make people play the game.
is not there. It's like the best time to just
sure.
even go and level your alts and still
Sam,
like pay attention to the stories and the characters and whatnot, and not go to next and just to rush it all up. It's not that expansion. That used to be Dragonflight. That used to be Shadowlands. That used to be BFA Legion. That used to be it because you wanted to get to that carrot on the stick. This time you don't have a carrot on the stick. You're the stick and the carrot is the story.
Somebody's a carrot here.
Yeah, no, the carrot is the story.
You know, I think though the game returned to its original thing, and that was get gear to get good. There is no grind, yes. Now Legion, there was that EP grind, but that was part of the story. It was very core to Legion. After that, it felt like they were just trying to relive that AP grind success in every subsequent expansion, whether it was, you know, your Azerite armor or your Torghast bullshit. Like they were just trying to always add that thing, find that same thing again, and it just wasn't working. With basically now with the War Within, it's back to just get gear to get good, which is great. It's very simplistic, and they've given us new ways to get gear. So again, new ways to get gear, new content, but getting gear to get good is at its core what World of Warcraft's always been about and should always be about.
All the characters, and again, it gives you so much
It's a
more.
core MMO tenet.
For us, at least, it's great anticipation for actually stepping into the raid and seeing how the story continues.
I'm very
Just,
excited
just,
for
a,
this.
just a little quick parenthesis to what you're saying. You know how it feels like the world is finally a character again. Like what a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
people were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about vanilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
The story, the world, the music, the zones,
I miss
everything.
that so much.
Very
I miss
true.
that. I just, just getting back into the world, and the world is being made out of, the little characters and the little quests and the side quests and all the NPCs. Like, even like, listen, man, there's like even funny fucking dialogue if you go through like the cities and just stay a little while, and there's like dialogue between people and stuff. Those are like funny as hell and like really like nice touches. Definitely need to pay attention to those. Again, I'm not expecting like for all who play like
This is a
super
great
hardcore this
cutscene.
game to like be aware of that. But really, you don't really have to rush for anything. Like all of the gear you have right now, from the renown, from crafting, that's gonna be shit in a week after the season starts. You're gonna replace that as fast as possible because it's fucking 580 something. Maybe you're 590. Okay, hooray! That will go out the water when you start your normal and heroic raid, and then you start.
Yeah, but would you rather have it that doesn't go? You want to keep your starting gear? That I don't know what. No, get gear, get good. You want a reason to do the new stuff. The new stuff just came out, and they're going to reward you for doing the new stuff with better gear. That's how it should be.
Going to like mythic and pushing keys higher and higher, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like in the past where you would just have to rush to be like super prepared and all. It's not that anymore, unless you're part of like, I don't know, method or echo. Sure,
That's different.
that's very different. It's basically your livelihood at that point. But enjoying the game is, I think, the most important thing. And if you're not enjoying the game because you feel like, but this is nothing new, this is basically like last expansion, what is this?
This could be
it's
very
bad.
This could be very subjective, but we
is.
were conditioned to actually care about like the only thing that really mattered in WoW is the practical uses, the practical rewards, and what you got out of your hour. Like I spent 3 hours. Am I getting my money's worth out of those 3
yeah.
hours? How much eye level did I acquire? How much currency
Yep.
did I gather? Like we were trained to be that way, kind of like little pet monkeys ever since most likely Legion.
Well, I mean, but it's been that way for MMOs forever. That is a core tenet of MMOs. Get grind to get gear, to get good, to get better, right? That's how it's always been. Now the nice thing about this expansion is they've told you, okay, yes, he's right. You look back at the hour you spent in the game and did my item level go up? Did I progress? Well, the good thing is now they've basically given you a bunch of ways to spend that hour. You could spend that hour doing dailies. You can spend that hour doing raid, Mythic Plus, Delves, whatever you want. Burning Viking, Jesus, 1,000
Good night, y'all,
bits.
and don't forget to get the Bear Store mount also bald.
Yeah, that freaking, yeah, also bald. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits, man. Jesus, that's a lot of bits. Thank you, Burning. Champion of our Scourge. Yeah, the bear mount's freaking beautiful in the store. But as I was saying, it's a core tenet of the game. Of course gear progression is going to matter, and of course we're going to care about our item level, but that's part of the fun of it. And now it's even more fun because there's a bunch of ways to do it.
With the artifact power, and then evolving into more
Right,
degenerate
right.
systems later on, and it felt like that was the game. For the longest part, those were the things that mattered, and we kind of stopped enjoying the good things. There were not very many good things to enjoy outside of that. I mean, I'm not gonna trash it. There's plenty of good stuff. But if we want WoW to be a better game and to take us into the future of what WoW could be, we have to start being trained in a different way, right? We have to start actually enjoying different things in WoW. My opinion about this subjectively is that now we can actually start to care about other things. Maybe start to care about renown is kind of like a byproduct, but talking with all the doing all the little quests and gathering all the little data from the characters, and actually just be in a world that's alive, and just having that urge, like Marcellin said, to actually log in is like, oh my god, I want to see what quests they put back today into the game. I want to see if that farmer gets his kid back or whatever, right? So those little things kind of really were not important for the longest time, and they're probably not going to be as important, once the season starts. But until then, and whenever they add little tidbits of story, I actually care about the world that I'm in, and I'm not just logging into this zone and then I'm just going through
Doing your chores
5
and-
loading screens, and I just live my life in an instant part of World of Warcraft, which is
Right.
either a Mythic Plus or a raid.
Yeah, no, he's right. Marcellian did say this a couple times, and I'll give him credit for that. He did make a point that the world feels great right now. The world is the best it's been in a very long time. And I like Marcellian's content for the most part. But yes, this video kind of felt like, well, they're trying to say it's bad, but it's not. It's not. It's really good in every way so far. It's been great for quite a while. Dragonflight built a foundation that the War Within has really jumped off, catapulted off, and it just feels like a great expansion so far. And with the kickoff of the season, we'll see if it continues to be. But from what I see, with everything that's coming and everything that's out now, it's a great freaking expansion.